Tinnitus or tinnitus is a sound I hear in my ears, more in quiet, less in noise, and only I can hear it, not anyone else, and only I understand how annoying it is, not anyone else. You may have heard it said there's no cure for tinnitus. There's nothing you can do about it but to live with it. This is simply not true. In fact, you can always do something about it. And for some people, by simply taking an action can make it a lot better. A good analogy of tinnitus is chronic pain or itch. It is always there. It's quite disabling and it really can annoy us. You might have heard people say, just ignore it. But the more you try to ignore it, the more you are aware of it. Today, we'll be talking about what it means to have tinnitus and a few strategies to get rid of it or to reduce it. As you probably have realized, I did put into a lot of effort into making the video. Please kindly like or subscribe if you think the content is helpful, or leave me a comment if you'd like me to talk about something else. I really do appreciate your support. Before we talk about how to actually unhear your tinnitus, we need to pay attention to some special tinnitus sounds or red flags. Those features may mean that you are at risk of having an underlying medical issue. And in that case, you need to talk to your doctor or audiologist. If you have already talked to your doctor, you can skip to the second part of the video. The first red flag is having vertigo or spinning sensation lasting for hours alongside with your tinnitus. This could be a sign for Meniere's disease. Usually with Meniere's disease, people tend to have fluctuating hearing loss in low-pitch region and feel really sick with the vertigo. So if you have anything similar to this, make sure you consult your doctor. The second red flag you should be looking at is pulsatile tinnitus. Pulsatile tinnitus presents itself as a whooshing, throbbing sound, usually in sync with your heartbeats. It could suggest circulation issues, which usually needs more medical attention. The third red flag is having sudden change of hearing with the tinnitus. If the sounds you heard in one ear or both ears suddenly become muffled, or the quality of the external sounds mysteriously changes, you may have sudden onset of hearing loss. There is a critical period to reverse the hearing loss, so we need to catch it as soon as it occurs. Again, go and see your doctor if this happens. At the last, if for some reasons tinnitus really worries you a lot, by all means go and see your doctor, audiologist, or tinnitus specialist. Let them tell you after a thorough examination whether you should be worried or not. If you feel that something is not quite right, trust your gut and please get a professional opinion. If none of the red flags are present, let's do some troubleshooting. I've listed out some conditions here. They can all more or less contribute towards your tinnitus, especially stress and poor sleep quality. And if you have any of the conditions listed, write down whatever you have and make yourself a plan to address it. When I say plan, I mean a proper, doable one. If you don't know where to start, the first step is always to learn and read about it. You can either talk to a professional or find information online from trustworthy resources. However, some of the issues here can be quite difficult to address, such as sleep. I've had a lot of patients tell me in the past that they couldn't fall asleep because of their tinnitus. And if they don't have a good night's sleep, their tinnitus can become worse on the next day. Over time, it turns into a vicious cycle. As an audiologist who works with tinnitus patients, my job is to introduce something to break the cycle once we have discovered the reasons behind their tinnitus. One common and effective technique is called sound therapy. In simple terms, we introduce sounds around you so you won't hear your tinnitus as much. Over a period of time, the tinnitus level is likely to reduce, and most importantly, patients will regain control over their tinnitus. For the sound therapy to work, there are three very important factors: the type, duration, and the loudness of the sounds. In brief, you should choose the type of sounds based on your tinnitus pitch. You then play that sound most of the time at a relatively low level to the degree that you can just hear your tinnitus. Depending on the type of tinnitus and each patient's specific scenario, the type, loudness, and the duration of the masking sounds can vary a lot. In the next video, I'll be talking more about sound therapy specifically, as well as introducing you to some very useful tools to control your tinnitus. If you find the video to be helpful, please kindly press the like button. Thank you for watching.